The northern blade shatters the silent night, and the heavens tremble in terror. 130 years ago, darkness descends as the silent night spreads death across the land. Humanity reels, hope dying with every fallen village. Then the world's strongest martial masters converge, forging the Central Heavenly Alliance and birthing the Northern Heavenly Sect. They vow to create a shield that will banish the night forever. Their resolve ignites a spark that refuses to die. The first leader steps forward, eyes burning with purpose. And that spark will soon become a raging fire.
I will lead this sect to the light.
The darkness still claws at the edge of their new hope. Jae Hyuk Shim, the ruler of Iron Blood, storms the shattered altar, his iron armor clanking with each stride. He wants to forge a new barrier from his own blood, believing his iron will hold the night at bay. The corrupted stone rejects his offering, splintering under the weight of his resolve. He hammers his sword into the floor, blood spraying, trying to weld the fissure shut. The iron melts, turning to rust, and his armor cracks, exposing his torso. He falls, the iron blood seeping into the soil, turning the ground crimson. The sect loses its iron wall, and the battlefield becomes a field of rusted hope. Muyang unsheathes the northern blade, his blade humming as he slashes through Kwon Jae-ho's elite guards. Blood sprays the moonlit courtyard while Yoon Hae-ri darts forward, bandaging a fallen comrade and whispering intel about Lord Baek Se-jun's treachery. With Master Huang's teachings echoing in his mind, Muyang lunges at Kwon Muryong, vowing the assassin's blood will finally seal the sect's shattered legacy. Muyang lunges through the moonlit courtyard, his blade humming with the northern blade's secret technique. He shatters Kwon Jae-ho's guard, sparks igniting the night as the conspirators gasp. Behind him, Princess So-yun rallies the hidden rebels, while Yoon Hae-ri rushes to tend the fallen.
The hidden warriors finally stir, their eyes flickering with a mix of fear and fury. They demand Muyang's purpose, forcing him to prove he isn't the weakling they assumed. Their suspicion blocks his path to the hidden scrolls that could revive the Northern Blade. He steps forward, brandishing the faint glow of his inherited technique, shocking the onlookers with a flash of feral resolve. Their startled gasp buys him a heartbeat, but the cost is clear. Every ally now watches him as a potential threat. But the real problem is already in motion. You feel the weight of every accusation slam into you.
Muyang shatters the hidden warrior's doubts by brandishing the Nine Skies sigil, forcing the brutal commander to concede the secret weapon cache lies beneath the ruined hall's shattered altar. He feels his soul ripped between desperate guilt for fallen comrades and a burning resolve to protect the Northern Heavenly Sect's legacy, knowing any misstep could condemn the remaining disciples to death. The ominous chant reverberates as the concealed leader's voice threatens to unleash the Nine Skies Oath, leaving Muyang teetering on a blade's edge while the true mastermind watches, unseen. Muwon snatches the dust-caked scrolls hidden beneath his father's shattered altar, his fingers trembling as the ancient northern blade techniques flare to life. Suddenly, a cloaked girl steps from the shadows, eyes blazing with purpose. She thrusts a blade toward him, demanding the secret moves before the conspirators, Lord Sukjin's spies, close in on the ruined sect. The silent night erupts anew, its darkness swallowing villages as panic spreads. Yongjin darts through the shattered courtyard, blade humming with the secret northern blade technique his father whispered. Beside him, Miare unleashes a flurry of twirling kicks, while Jinsu's laughter masks his razor-sharp sword. Together they cut a path to Lord Sukjin's Citadel, where Kuro waits, death glinting in his eyes.
Jin Muwon flips open his father's scrolls, feeling the ancient ink pulse like a living heartbeat. As the secret northern blade forms in his hands, a cloaked girl, Miare, steps from the shadows, eyes blazing with purpose. Together they cut through the conspirators' veil, racing toward the ruined sect's altar where Master Huan's whispered legacy awaits, promising Muwon the power to resurrect the Northern Heavenly Sect. The answer is already too late. Muwon cracks open his father's sealed scrolls, the ink flaring like sunrise on his trembling hands.
The world beyond the Northern Heavenly Sect lies barren, a wasteland swallowing every sound. No wind stirs, no creature stirs. as if time itself has frozen over the ruined walls. The desolation mirrors Muwon's inner ruin, each cracked stone reflecting a piece of his shattered lineage. He walks the empty courtyard, each footstep echoing louder than the last, feeling the weight of a legacy that no one remembers. The silence presses against his ears, urging him to either abandon hope or forge it anew. He lifts his head, eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of life. A voice cuts through the stillness, cold and accusing. This is who I am. This is the current me.
Blood pools on the stone as a wounded ally collapses, clutching his wound. Muwon kneels, pressing a makeshift bandage to the bleeding throat, whispering a silent apology for the chaos he's caused. The gesture buys a moment's respite, allowing the wounded man to breathe easier, but the pain in his eyes tells a story of lingering betrayal. Muwon's hands tremble, feeling the weight of every life he cannot save. The cost is a fragile hope that his compassion might stave off the darkness gathering beyond the walls.
Forgive us. Use this to stop bleeding.
The next strike may shatter more than flesh. Muwon shatters the sealed bamboo case, unleashing the northern blade's luminous ink that surges through his veins, igniting the ancient technique as the ruined hall erupts in radiant sigils. He feels his father's legacy pulse within, but the blood-soaked ally collapses, forcing Muwon to trade his newfound power for a desperate wound binding, fearing his quest costs the lives he swore to protect. Now the awakened northern blade glows ominously, while Miare watches from the shadows, her violet eyes promising betrayal, leaving Muwon teetering between resurrecting his order and unleashing a darkness he cannot control. Cracks open the hidden scroll, the ink flaring as the ancient northern heavenly techniques surge into his veins. His untrained hands ignite with blade energy. Across Goryeo, Gwang Jinwoo sharpens his sword, eyes narrowed at Yeom Jangho's scheming envoy. Suddenly, a cloaked girl, Myri, appears, whispering a poisoned warning that the Liao General Baekho is already marching toward the capital.
Muwon stalks the deserted sect hall, candlelight flickering over the ancient scrolls his father left behind. He slices through the dust with a practice strike, unearthing the way of 10,000 spirits. As the ink glows, a cloaked girl materializes, eyes burning with hidden purpose, whispering, "The silent night returns, your blood will decide its fate."
Jinwoo's blade sang through the night as the Broken Fists troops swarmed, their ironclad fists snapping like thunder. Lee Haejin darted between them, laying traps of ash and steel, while Myri slipped poisonous darts into the chaos. With a roar, Jinwoo sliced the leader's throat, and the remaining foes fled, their cries echoing into the waning darkness of the silent night. Huang Cheol reveals the final fragment of the sect's shattered legacy, the cursed ghost blade Yun Cheonhua, a phantom sword that gathered elite sword users and settled in the western heavens. These protectors now guard a power that could either shield the remnants of the northern heavenly sect or crush any hope of resurgence.
Jin Muwon cracks open his father's sealed scrolls, the ink igniting like cold fire across his trembling hands. As the secret techniques surge through his veins, a silk-clad girl, Myri, eyes glinting with poison, appears, whispering, "The northern heavenly sect will rise again." He nods, blade humming, ready to carve a new destiny for the fallen sect.
Jinwoo clenches his blade as Yeom Jangho's emissaries storm the ruined northern heavenly sect, their banners fluttering like dying crows. With Myri's poison-laced darts slicing through the ranks, Lee Haejin flanks the enemy, while Master Huang summons the White Lotus to block the Liao advance. Amid the clash, Jinwoo's sword sings, vowing the fallen Jin Quanho's legacy will never fade.
Jin Muwon ignites his father's sealed scrolls, cold fire surging, while Myri, silk-clad poison girl, launches deadly darts, turning the ruined altar into a battlefield of ice and venom. Jin Muwon fights for his lineage's honor, feeling his father's blade awaken, while the poisonous onslaught threatens to strip him of the trust he desperately seeks. The cloaked stranger steps from the shadows, eyes blazing, demanding Jin Muwon reveal the hidden technique, leaving the altar's crumbling walls trembling on the edge of collapse.
The hidden scroll flares as Jin Muwon's trembling fingers trace the forgotten seals, and a gust of icy wind sweeps the ruined hall. From the shadows, a cloaked girl materializes, eyes blazing with the same fire that once ignited the Northern Heavenly Sect. She thrusts a jade amulet toward him, whispering, "The Blade's legacy awakens, follow, or perish." Muwon cracks open his father's sealed scrolls, the ancient ink flaring as his fingertips trace forgotten stances. Suddenly, a silver-clad girl, Mira, the Mountain Clan healer, materializes, eyes burning with urgent warning. General Baekjin's forces march toward the ruined halls. If the Northern Blade's secrets awaken, the Mongols will crush us all. Muwon grips the blade, destiny igniting.
The poison still churns, but the last drops of porridge heat the broth, promising a temporary cure. Yongwoon urges the stunned healer to finish the concoction, his voice low, urging patience. She hesitates, fearing the young master's fragile state, but complies, stirring with trembling hands. The mixture bubbles, releasing a faint glow that hints at salvation. Yet the young master's pulse falters, and a cold sweat beads on Yongwoon's brow. The price. Every second spent boiling porridge brings the enemy closer to the doorway.
Hold still, just a moment longer.
The door bursts open, and a cloaked figure steps in, eyes glittering with cruel intent. Yongwoon grips the blood-stained northern blade, his eyes blazing as General Baekjin's cavalry thunder across the ruined valley. He slashes a Mongol scout, the steel singing with the secret techniques his father left behind. Beside him, Jinsu thrusts his spear, Mira darts in to tend a wounded ally, and Kang Ho shouts the battle plan. With every strike, Yongwoon tears down the conspiracy that killed Master Huan and vows to revive the Northern Heavenly Sect. Yongwoon grips the northern blade, blood still fresh on its edge, and storms General Baekjin's encampment. He shatters the warlord's iron shield, while Jinsu's spear pierces the fleeing guards. Lady Siami darts through the chaos, but Myra's healing chant freezes her strike. Yongwoon tears through General Baekjin's encampment, the northern blade igniting with his father's secret techniques as he shatters the warlord's iron shield and drives the fleeing guards into chaos. Jin Muwon risks his life, draining his fading antidote to purge deadly poison from the injured woman, feeling the crushing weight of 3 sleepless days and the desperate debt of a life he barely saves. The poison toxin resurges, the woman's eyes flare with panic, and a hidden figure watches from the shadows, leaving the fate of both the Blade's vengeance and Muwon's survival hanging by a thread. Jin Muwon's trembling hands brush dust from the ancient scrolls, and the hidden techniques flare awake like dormant fire. Across Goryeo, Yongwoon unsheathes the northern blade, cutting through Jang Suk's corrupt guards as Haeri's arrows rain down. Mokjin's demonic roar erupts, but General Baeksung's shield holds the line, sparking the rebirth of the Northern Heavenly Sect.
Muwon's trembling fingers clasp the hidden scroll, and ancient energy erupts, igniting his dormant lineage. Across Goryeo, Minister Jang Suk watches the flickering sigil, his grin widening as Warlord Mokjin summons a black tempest. Meanwhile, Yongwoon unsheaths the northern blade, charging alongside Haeri and General Baeksung, vowing to shatter the conspiracy and resurrect the fallen sect.
He has no idea what's waiting. Stay subbed to Manwa with Hari, or you'll miss the climax. Jin Muwon spreads his senses, trying to feel any hint of life left in the ruined courtyard. He wants to know if a survivor still clings to the wreckage. The silence presses like a stone, and the faint echo of distant wind blocks his search. He steadies his breath, presses his palm to the cold earth, and lets his inner chi ripple outward. Nothing moves. No pulse, no breath, only emptiness. The loss sharpens his resolve, and a cold dread settles in his gut as he realizes the tragedy may be total.
So this is the Northern Heavenly Sect.
The girl beside the fire watches Muwon's trembling hands, her expression softening. She wants to show gratitude, because his help saved her from the poison that almost claimed her life. The lingering fear of death still clings to her, making every word feel heavy. She clears her throat, whispers, then steadies herself. I wanted to thank you for what you've done. He blinks, surprised. You're thanking me? She repeats, hoping the simple exchange will bridge the gap between strangers. The moment hangs, fragile as a candle flame. Muwon's eyes widen as the girl's gratitude fuels his resolve. He wants to repay her kindness because his own survival now rests on her trust.
The girl lashes out, furious that 3 months have passed without progress, because her patience wears thin and she doubts his commitment. Muwon's silence fuels her anger, the accusation that he's shameless, striking like a blade. He retorts with a bitter laugh, demanding she feed him now, the scent of incense barely masking his frustration. She snaps, questioning his motives for helping a stranger, and they both rush toward the unknown, driven by hunger and an unspoken promise. Their hurried departure seals a pact forged in irritation, not trust.
Why am I doing this for a girl I don't know?
Their reckless sprint leads straight into the darkness waiting beyond.
Muwon slams his hammer aside, dashing into the shadowy corridor, shattering the ancient wall and unleashing a torrent of blood-etched blades that scream toward the terrified girl. The girl's panic spikes as she watches her only hope crumble, while Muwon risks his life to claim the sword technique that could finally avenge his father. A hulking silhouette emerges from the darkness, blade glinting, leaving Muwon and the girl frozen, unsure whether it's a savior or the doom that will end their quest.
Muwon cracks open his father's sealed scrolls, his fingertips igniting with long-forgotten energy as the Northern Heavenly Sect's secrets surge through him. A crimson gust shreds the silence, and a lone girl, Yoon Se-ra, eyes burning like a white tiger, steps from the shadows, offering a pact that could resurrect the fallen sect or doom him forever. Jin Muwon claws open his father's sealed scroll, ancient ink igniting his veins as the secret Northern Heavenly techniques surge forward. Suddenly, a cloaked girl, Yoon Se-ra, materializes, eyes blazing with white tiger fire, offering a blade forged in hidden forges. Together they clash against Khan Togrul's marauding vanguard, each strike echoing the rebirth of the Northern Blade. Jin Muwon grips the dust-caked scrolls his father left, each line igniting his dormant chi. As he carves the first thunderous strike, a cloaked girl steps from the shadows, eyes blazing with the Northern Heavenly Sect's fire. She thrusts a jade amulet toward him, whispering, "The silent night returns, only you can awaken the blade."
A towering official snarls, "How dare you bring someone without permission? I'll teach that kid a lesson again." He gestures toward the palace doors. "Please come this way, my lords. We prepared fine rooms in Hua Cheon Palace." A softer voice observes, "He's not as dumb as I thought. Lies flow from him without blinking. An intriguing kid."
The moon crowns the ruined courtyard as Gwang Haemyeong unsheathes his father's northern blade, its steel humming against the night's silence. Yoon Se-ra darts forward, striking Khan Togrul's cavalry with ferocious tiger claws, while Lee Dae-ho's mountain clan warriors roar in unison. Minister Baek Song-ju's conspirators falter, and the blade's crimson arc sears a new hope across the war-torn land. Muwon cracks open the ancient scrolls his father left, feeling the blade's cold whisper against his palm. The hidden sigils flare, igniting his veins with forgotten Northern Heavenly power. Suddenly, a cloaked girl steps from the shadows, eyes blazing like sunrise, demanding a duel. Mokyun Pyong unsheathes the legendary Northern Blade, its steel singing as he severs the cursed seal that bound the 4 dead heavens, shattering the ancient darkness in a flash of crimson light. Jin Muwon feels his father's bloodline ignite, gaining the heavenly techniques while the weight of his lineage crushes his heart, knowing any misstep could doom the remnants of his shattered clan. A cloaked girl materializes from the shadows, eyes blazing with unknown intent, and whispers a warning that the true master of the 4 dead heavens still watches, ready to strike when the blade awakens.
"Forgive me, Master, didn't expect such violence." This pill heals quickly, your wound will close fast. Jin Muyang lunges through the moonlit ruins, the white tiger's hidden blade humming as he shatters a black lotus sigil. Behind him, Jin Seara throws a vial of glowing poison, felling the demon-wielding cultist Lord Quan Hairayong in a flash of black fire. Prime Minister Baek Junsu watches from the palace balcony, his grin fading as the Northern Blade's legacy ignites once more.
Jin Muyang unsheathes the northern blade, the steel humming as ancient sigils flare. Prime Minister Baek Junsu watches from the palace balcony, his grin curdling into dread when the white tiger's disciple shatters the marble floor with a single strike. Behind him, Myri darts from the shadows, hurling poison darts that ignite the cultist banners of Black Lotus, sparking the first blaze of rebellion. A young messenger bows, announcing the master's safe return and full recovery. The news spreads like fire, igniting hope in every clenched jaw. Really? That's good to hear. The girl replies, relief brightening her eyes. Yet the messenger's final words cut through the optimism. We will be making our move very soon. Muyang watches the opponent's breath cloud the air, each exhale a warning. He wants to end the fight before the battlefield erupts into chaos. But the enemy's hidden aura flares, turning the ground beneath them into a trembling mess. Muyang lunges, slicing through the wavering mist, hoping to strike the core of the hidden power. His blade meets resistance, like cutting through iron vow, and a sudden shock ripples through his arm. He staggers, realizing the enemy's strength surpasses his expectation. The hidden force still lingers, and the next clash could shatter him. The opponent erupts, unleashing a torrent of technique.
A grizzled commander snarls, warning the rookie not to meddle with the mysterious man they all fear. The rookie curses, frustrated that his opponent evaded even a simple dodge, calling him pathetic. The man in the shadows remains silent, his eyes cold, as the commander reminds everyone that the target holds immense value for their plan. He is the last descendant of the Northern Heavenly Sect. The rookie's resolve hardens. He knows the fate of the entire sect hangs on capturing this man. Every breath they take now fuels a deadly cat-and-mouse game that could shatter their cause.
How many times must I tell you not to mess with that man? For freaking sake. I thought he could at least dodge. I understand, so leave me be. You're searing me. That man holds tremendous value to our plan. He's the last descendant.
Muyang shatters the ghost barrier, blood spattering, as the hidden opponent unleashes a dark technique, forcing a desperate counter. Muyang feels his life force draining while his allies stare, knowing a single misstep could claim his soul and doom the Nine Skies' legacy. The ghostly whisper of Lady Higher Young's dying scream echoes, and the unseen chi surge hints that a far greater, unseen enemy watches, ready to strike. The hidden ghost squad is dead. The kid who killed them hides with the girl. Chaos still roars as the demon of chaos, Ta Im Yukong, materializes, snarling at the empty battlefield. He craves a target, but the remnants of the elite forces have vanished, leaving only whispers of their location. Anger fuels his roar, and he summons his dark minions, demanding the whereabouts of the missing hunters. The empty air answers with silence, and his frustration sharpens into a promise of vengeance.
Ta Im Yukong. Act.
I have returned, Lord Ta Im Yukong.
The hunt has only just begun, and the shadows already shift.
The girl slides a small wrapped parcel into Muwon's palm, hoping the gesture mends the widening gap. She wants to give something meaningful before they part, to leave a mark of trust. His skeptical stare blocks acceptance, his pride refusing a simple gift. He unwraps it slowly, eyes scanning for a hidden blade. The consequence is a fragile bond forged in the heat of battle, a token that could become a weapon or a promise.
Here, what's that? You said you were leaving soon. I wanted to give you something.
Jinwoo Kim unsheathes his scarred katana, the blade humming as he slices through the Black Lotus emissaries blocking the hidden tunnel. Lady Haeri darts forward, her healing sigils flaring to seal the wounded, while Mira whispers intel about Lord Quan Seho's ambush. With Master Taesun's ghostly technique guiding him, Jinwoo lunges, shattering the demon's cursed armor and igniting the vow of revenge. The ancient scrolls sing as Jinwoo unsheathes his father's forgotten blade, the northern heavenly sect's secret techniques igniting around him. A chilling wind carries the whisper of a cloaked girl, her eyes alight with power. Jinwoo Kim shatters the ancient altar, unleashing the dormant northern blade technique as his father's sealed fury erupts, the blade humming with celestial power and slicing through the Black Lotus onslaught. Muwon feels his father's legacy ignite within him, gaining the power to redeem his broken sect, while confronting the crushing weight of betrayal that could consume his soul forever. The cloaked girl's whispered promise of rebuilding the sect hangs in the air as a shadowy figure watches, ready to claim the Northern Blade's true secret before sunrise. Betrayed the Northern sect, and the heavens are about to crumble. A fierce aura crackles around a lone figure, muscle trembling as if his legs might give out. He knows the power he carries could shatter the world, and he refuses to let it slip. The crowd watches, breath held, waiting for him to strike. He clenches his fists, channels the hidden techniques of the Northern Heavenly Sect, and lets the energy explode outward, forcing every rival to retreat. The surge leaves him gasping, but his resolve hardens. Nothing will stop him from uncovering the truth.
He is martial master.
Muyang lunges through the crumbling courtyard, the northern blade humming as he cleaves Sunwoo Gaiho's elite guard. Heiran flanks, his fists crackling with the sect's secret techniques, while Myra's ethereal whisper guides each strike. Above, the Imperium's banners flutter, but the dark sorcerer Mok Jinwoo watches, his eyes alight with the power he craves. The battle ignites the long-dormant fury of the Northern Heavenly Sect. Manwa with Hari, the answer lies beyond the shattered pillars, waiting to strike back. Jin Muyang eyes the cloaked figure trembling in the moonlit courtyard. He wants proof that the Northern Heavenly Sects will still burns inside someone alive. The figure's ragged breath and shaking hands block any clear answer.
The council now demands a divine witness, insisting Master Jin seal their oath to the heavens. They crave his approval to legitimize the society, believing his name alone can sway the gods. Master Jin hesitates, aware that endorsing them could draw the wrath of the old guard and tear his fragile peace. He raises his hand, chanting a silent promise, and places his seal on the parchment, binding their vow with his blood. The council erupts in muted cheers, but the price of this blessing hangs heavy. What comes next changes everything. The disciples bow, eyes shining with gratitude. They need Master Jin's eyes to confirm their pact, hoping his gaze will seal their future.
The lieutenant leans close, whispering a promise of protection, his hand hovering protectively over the nervous guard. The guard, eyes wide, nods, trusting the lieutenant's fierce claim. Their brief moment of solidarity steadies the group, buying a sliver of hope amid chaos. Yet the lieutenant's confidence masks a deeper fear. If he fails, the entire flank crumbles. The whisper hangs in the air, a thin shield against the looming threat.
Stay. I will guard you.
The promise hangs, but who will survive the night's next strike? Muyang's blade sings as he shatters Sunwoo Gaiho's guard, the steel flashing like sunrise through lingering darkness. Heiran lunges, his fist cracking the ground, while Myra's ethereal whisper guides each strike. Muyang lunges through the crumbling temple, unsheathing the northern blade as its icy edge sings, slashing Sunwoo Gaiho's elite guard, while Heiran hurls flaming spears that carve paths of fire through the conspirators. Muyang stakes his father's shattered legacy on this desperate charge, while Heiran's fierce loyalty ignites a bond that could either cement their vengeance or drown them in betrayal and loss. A hidden scroll flickers with a lone, indecipherable symbol, its secret trigger humming ominously, leaving every master and the audience wondering which darkness will erupt next.
Hidden ghost troop annihilated. and the blade's blood oath shatters the northern citadel. A masked commander snarls at the kid, demanding his location, while his guards rush forward, weapons raised. The kid darts sideways, heart thundering, eyes scanning for an exit. A shout rings out, "Get him!" And another voice cracks, "Arch!" forcing the kid to sprint through a collapsing doorway. He bursts into the open, breath ragged. The enemy's pursuit stumbling over debris he leaves behind. The chaos buys him a moment, but the hunters close in faster than ever.
Yeepwool. General. Ellis going on right now? I didn't expect that monster to follow me all the way over here.
Dawn creeps over the ruined altar as Young-woo tightens his grip on the northern blade, its edge humming with dormant power. He darts toward the encroaching Imperial Legion, each step stirring dust from centuries-old stone. Hae-jin shouts tactical orders, Mira darts forward to patch a fallen comrade, and Taesun fires a volley of bolt-tipped arrows that scatter the enemy ranks. The battlefield erupts in fierce clangor, and Young-woo's resolve sharpens like steel. Join the Hari squad with a sub before the system crashes.
Young-woo unsheathes the northern blade as sunrise pierces the ruined sect's courtyard, his heart echoing Jin Muyang's final command. He lunges at General Kwang Ho's armored phalanx, steel flashing, and shatters the Imperial banner.
The warrior's defiance ignites the air as he hurls a curse at the cloaked figure, refusing the offered mercy. The foe's patience snaps. He lunges, teeth bared, promising to tear the intruder apart. The warrior stumbles, bewildered by the sudden shift from mockery to raw menace. He catches a glimpse of a hidden insignia, realizing the enemy belongs to the Silent Knight's Legion. Panic flickers, but his resolve hardens into a silent vow of retaliation. Words.
I'm going to tear you to pieces.
The hidden legion's presence now threatens every step he takes. A frantic shout pierces the clash as a comrade rushes to the wounded warrior, pleading for his brother's safety.
Young-woo unsheathes the northern blade, its icy edge humming, and cleaves General Kwang Ho's armored guard into shards, exposing the cloaked challenger who reveals a burning eastern star. Myra's desperate bandage saves the wounded warrior, but the blade's blood-soaked triumph fuels his pride, leaving him teetering between heroic glory and a fatal hubris that could shatter his soul. The cloaked challenger steps forward, eyes blazing, and vows to tear Young-woo apart, while the battlefield erupts in shattered armor, leaving the warrior's fate hanging on a razor-thin thread of impending death.
You watch Jin Muon trembling as the cloaked figure steps forward, a grin curling on his lips. The man tells Jin his blood could have powered the entire plan, that his death would have been a priceless sacrifice. Jin's mind races. He wants answers, but the stranger's cold logic blocks any hope of mercy. He clenches his fists, demanding the truth, while the figure pulls a hidden blade, flashing it menacingly. The blade slices the air, leaving Jin bruised and his future hanging by a thread.
The illusion flickers, and a monstrous shape threatens to burst free, its roar shaking the stone walls. The defenders, abandoned yet defiant, by precious seconds, slashing at the phantom. Jin wonders why they die for a lie they'll never see honored, his heart heavy with the futility of honor. Their sacrifice fuels a bitter truth. Dying for a lie offers no glory, only a dog-like death. The monster's roar fades as the illusion collapses, leaving only broken bodies and shattered dreams. What's the point of dying for a lie? Someone mutters.
What's the point of dying for a lie?
Their deaths become a warning for anyone still clinging to false honor. You feel the world tilt as the rival warlord steps forward, his sneer cutting deeper than any blade. He taunts Muon, claiming the boy abandoned his own blood, and declares this the end of his foolish hope. Muon's heart pounds. The accusation fuels a fire he cannot extinguish. He tries to push back, urging the warlord to see his loyalty, but the warlord's grin widens, feeding on Muon's anguish. The boy's only solace slips away, leaving a hollow ache that threatens to shatter his resolve. What comes next changes everything.
You're actually giving up your life for that kid who abandoned you. This is the end, kiddo.
Muon clashes with the Witch of White Knight's Demon Lord Enforcer, shattering the cursed seal that bound the training hall's ruins and unleashing a blinding surge of ice. Muon risks losing his lineage's honor while his wounded sister clings to his sleeve. Feeling his fading resolve and fearing the Northern Blade's legacy crumbles beneath their trembling breaths. A shadowy assassin materializes, blade humming, demanding Muon's name as the rival warlord's sneer promises a deadly alliance, leaving the battlefield poised on a razor-thin edge of betrayal. Muon stalks the deserted courtyard, fingertips brushing the dust-caked scrolls his father left behind. The ancient seals flare, igniting his blood with the northern heavenly sect's forgotten fury. A cloaked girl materializes, eyes gleaming like twin moons, and whispers, "The blade awaits, but darkness still stalks your destiny." He draws the first breath of true power. Muon cracks open his father's sealed scrolls, each line igniting his dormant bloodline. As the ancient symbols flare, a cloaked girl, Myri, materializes, eyes alight with prophecy. She thrusts a trembling jade amulet into his palm, whispering, "The northern blade awaits its heir. Darkness returns if you falter." Muon's heart pounds. Destiny claws its way forward.
Muon stalks the abandoned training hall, his fingertips grazing the dust-caked scrolls his father left behind. He cracks the first secret stance, feeling the northern heavenly sect's power surge through his veins. Suddenly, a silver-haired girl materializes, eyes blazing with purpose, and whispers, "The silent night returns. Only you can awaken the blade."
Muon's fingertips brush the hidden scrolls, ancient symbols igniting his dormant chi. A silvery wind sweeps the ruins as a lone girl materializes, eyes blazing with the northern heavenly sect's wrath. She thrusts a blade toward him, whispering, "Your father's legacy awakens now, join me, or die forgotten." Muon's heart pounds, destiny unfurling.
Jean Muon bursts into the ruined plaza, the air thick with dust and the scent of burnt incense. He believes the Huaqion Palace once stood here, the site of a secret council that could betray the sect. He needs answers before the demon's pulse hardens the ground into glass. Crumbling pillars block his view, and the echo of distant battle drums rattles his nerves. He smashes through a broken column, forcing the debris aside, and discovers a hidden doorway marked with an ancient seal. The stone door shutters open, revealing darkness beyond. What comes next changes everything. Inside the hidden chamber, Jean Muon confronts a flickering sigil that pulses with chi. Muon shatters the cursed scroll, unleashing a blinding jade vortex that hurls the silver-haired girl into the heart of the demon's shattered palace, where the hovering blade awakens with a thunderous, crimson hum. Jean Muon feels his resolve fracture as the echo of Heiran's sister's desperate cry pierces the collapsing ruins, forcing him to choose between risking his own life or abandoning the only hope to seal the demon's spreading poison. The vortex spirals outward, the blade humming ominously, while a shifting silhouette flickers beyond the darkness, promising a power that could either annihilate the silent night or consume Muon entirely.
Muon tears open the ancient scrolls his father hid, the ink flaring as forgotten stances surge through his veins. His bare hands crackle with the northern heavenly sect's power, each thrust echoing the fallen Jean Quan Ho. Suddenly, a silver-haired girl materializes, eyes blazing with unspoken purpose, and whispers, "The silent night returns, only you can stop it." Muon cracks open his father's hidden scrolls, energy flaring as the ancient northern heavenly techniques surge through his veins. Across the ruined sect, Li Chunwu unsheaths the moon sword, its blade humming in sync with Muon's awakening power. Together they carve a luminous path through the encroaching darkness, vowing to resurrect the fallen sect and crush the Black Moon's looming threat.
Pain claws at Muon's throat, each gasp a reminder of his failing body. He wants to keep breathing, to finish the fight, but the poison in his veins drags him toward collapse. The enemy's relentless assault blocks his air, forcing Muon to clutch the stone wall for support. He forces a guttural curse, then summons the last of his hidden reserves, sending a burst of icy wind toward his attacker. The wind stalls the foe, buying a precious heartbeat. Yet Muwon's vision blurs as darkness presses in.
Can't breathe, at my limit. What now?
The chill lingers, and the next strike could end everything. The fire of chaos roars around Muwon, its flames promising false immortality. Jin Muwon presses the jade amulet against his palm, feeling its pulse sink with his own blood. He wants to harness its power before the silent night returns. Yet a sinister voice erupts from the shadows, mocking his effort. The voice belongs to the demon of chaos, a being the silent night forged to guard its secrets. It snarls that Muwon should never have been born, and accuses the silent night's followers of birthing this cursed witch. Muwon's resolve hardens. He refuses to be a pawn in their twisted game. He grips the amulet tighter, daring the demon to strike.
You should never have been brought into this world.
The demon's taunt only fuels Muwon's fury. Jin Muwon tears open his father's hidden scrolls, and the ancient northern heavenly techniques flare to life, coalescing into a radiant sword that thrums with power. He feels his blood ignite with the sect's legacy, gaining the strength to confront the silent night, but fearing the loss of his humanity as the blade's darkness beckons. A cloaked figure steps from the shadows, whispering a truth that could shatter the sect forever, leaving Muwon teetering on the brink of a decision that will decide the fate of all.
The hidden scroll cracks open as Jin Muyang's trembling hands release the Northern Blade's secret technique, a blade of light cutting the oppressive gloom. A lone silhouette materializes, her eyes glinting like moonlit steel, a mystic girl bearing an ancient seal. She steps forward, voice a whisper of destiny, and offers the key to resurrect the shattered Northern Heavenly Sect.
The midnight wind carries a lone figure to Muwon's ruined courtyard, where the mysterious girl steps from the shadows, eyes gleaming like twin moons. She thrusts a sealed scroll toward him, whispering, "Your father's legacy awakens now. Embrace the Northern Blade." Muyang clenches the ancient Northern Blade, its cold steel humming as he shatters the Sun Was ambush. Muyang lunges through the ruined courtyard, the Northern Blade humming as he shatters Sunwoo Guangho's guard formation. Blood splatters the dust. Kong Seara darts forward, blades flashing, but Muyang's sword arcs like a comet, cleaving her defenses. Li Heijin's spear pierces the rear, while Yoon Miare's quick antidote steadies the wounded. With the Eastern Sect's banners rising, the fallen Northern Heavenly Sect ignites anew. If you want more daily recaps, hit that subscribe button now. Jin Muwon stands before the gathered crowd, the weight of the Northern Heavenly Sect's legacy pressing on his shoulders. He declares he is the last living bloodline, demanding respect. The onlookers sneer, treating him like a harmless cub without fangs. The moment the silverlight ice crystal shatters, Jin Muyang lunges, his blade humming with the Northern Blade technique. Sunwoo Guangho's elite guard erupts, but Muyang's partner Li Heijin sweeps them aside, while Yoon Miare flares a healing sigil. With a roar, Muyang cleaves the conspirators' banner, vowing the fallen sect will rise from its ashes. Jin Muyang draws the ancient Northern Blade, the steel humming as the silver spirits will surges through him. Sunwoo Guangho's shadowed assassins close in, but Kong Seara hesitates, remembering the technique her master once barred her from. With a flash of steel, Muyang shatters the oncoming strike, the blade's icy light carving a path toward revenge. Jin Muyang draws the Northern Blade, shatters the ice crystal, slashes through Sunwoo's elite guard, summons a storm of luminous shards, confronting Kong Seara. Jin Muyang finally claims his father's hidden power, but risks losing Kong Seara's allegiance and his own humanity as blood rains around him. Kong Seara hesitates, blade trembling, while a sealed curse within the vault thrums, promising a darkness that could consume both allies and enemies alike.
The moment the moon slipped behind the cursed clouds, Jin Muwon's hidden scrolls ignited, and his dormant aura burst forth. Steel sang as he sliced through the oncoming assassins, each stroke echoing the Northern Heavenly Sect's forgotten might. Blood-stained shadows recoiled, and the mysterious girl, her eyes blazing with ancient fire, smiled, recognizing the heir who finally awakened the Northern Blade's true power.
Youngwoo lunges through the moonlit courtyard, the Northern Blade humming as he shatters Lord Guansuk's shield. Behind him, He-jin's arrows rain down, while Seungri darts forward to seal a bleeding wound. Kanare's dark sigils flare, but the swordsman's resolve ignites, turning the demon cult's curse into a blinding surge of righteous steel.
You watch Jin Muon stare at the exit, knowing that stepping out means becoming the sole survivor of this nightmare. If I leave this place, I will be the only survivor of this incident. They'll try their best to extract as much information as they can from you. You'll face a lot of hardships. The survivor's warning cuts deep, but Jin Muon's heart burns with duty. He refuses to betray his father's legacy, and the survivor, eyes glinting, swears, "But don't worry, I won't ever tell them you survived. I swear that upon my life and the gods." The pact seals their fates, binding them in secrecy. Jin Muon raises his hand, sealing the survivor's oath as his first blade, the decisive spark that could resurrect the northern heavenly sect or ignite a cataclysmic war. Guilt crashes through him as he confronts his past betrayals, realizing every choice now drags his soul between redemption's fragile hope and the abyss of irreversible ruin. The lingering shadows whisper of a hidden enemy watching, leaving the sect's survival hanging on the uncertain loyalty of the newly sworn blade.
Mu-young clutches his father's blood-stained blade, eyes blazing as Lord Baekwon's minions close in. He darts through the ruined sect hall, slicing a falling pillar to block the charge, then unleashes the northern blade, each strike a thunderclap that shatters the white tiger's armor. Behind him, Seo Yiri darts forward, brandishing a crimson herb to staunch his wounds. Mu-young darts into the ruined temple, clutching his father's sealed scrolls as the moon slashes the night sky. He ignites the northern blade, its icy arc scattering the white tiger assassins while Baekwon's laughter echoes from the shadows. With Seo Yiri's healing pulse at his back and Han Soo-jin's whispered intel, he lunges forward, vowing vengeance.
Jin Mu-young gathers his scattered comrades, insisting they must ready themselves for the unknown return of the hidden master. The group, hardened by loss, nods, each understanding the looming responsibility. Their training stalls only because the master's teachings remain incomplete, but Mu-young declares his first duty, to forge a future strong enough for the sect's rebirth. The sacrifice? Every night they forgo rest, sharpening swords while the world teeters on the brink.
Must wait for his return, and prepare for his future. That shall be my first duty.
The night whispers, and a new resolve fuels their blades. The silent panels show the sect's shattered altar, a lone candle flickering amid the ruin. Mu-young lunges through the jagged Jeokam cliffs, the ancient northern blade humming in his palm as he shatters a rock wall that concealed the sect's hidden scrolls. Behind him, Kang Yijin darts from the shadows, blade flashing, while Lord Baekwon's war drums echo across the valley. Mu-young's resolve ignites. Revenge and the sect's rebirth hinge on this bloody clash. Mu-young slams his trembling fists onto the cracked stone floor, the secret scrolls of the northern heavenly sect humming under his grip. As the faint glow of the northern blade technique ignites his veins, a pale girl materializes, eyes burning with unspoken promise. "Your father's legacy ends here," she whispers, and the air shatters with the roar of destiny. Mu-young tears through the moonlit ruins, the northern blade humming in his palm as he shatters a hail of white tiger spears and smashes the sealed vault, unveiling the hidden northern heavenly sect scrolls. He feels the crushing weight of a legacy he never asked for, yet grasps the priceless ledger that could save the White Dragon merchant troop, sacrificing his safety for a chance at redemption. Lord Baekwon watches from shadowed cliffs, his contempt simmering, while the faint incense masks a hidden threat that could strike before Mu-young deciphers the cryptic symbols, leaving the battlefield poised on a razor edge. Mu-young lunges through the shattered altar, his blade humming with the recovered northern blade techniques. He shatters Kang Haryong's cursed sigil, sparks igniting the darkness that still clings to the ruins. As the Emperor's shadow looms, Myri darts forward, blades dripping black ink, but Mu-young's resolve flares. He will resurrect his father's honor or die forging it anew. Mu-young lunges through the crumbling courtyard, his blade humming with the revived northern blade technique. He shatters Kang Haryong's guard, sending the traitor sprawling into the shattered statues of the northern heavenly sect. Behind him, Lee Seare chants a healing mantra, while Myri vanishes in a swirl of dark ash, her eyes fixed on the Emperor's looming throne.
The wind howls over the ruined hall as Jin Muyang unsheathes his father's blade, the ancient northern blade humming with dormant power. He slams the hidden scrolls onto the stone altar, the secret techniques igniting his veins. Suddenly, Myri drops from the shadows, twin daggers glinting, and a guttural chant erupts. Muyang lunges, steel meeting steel, vowing to resurrect the northern heavenly sect. Jin Muyang lunges through the crumbling courtyard, his blade humming with the reclaimed northern blade techniques. He shatters the conspirators' shield, exposing Kong Haryong's treachery as Myri's dark blades clash against his resolve.
Jin Muyang tears through the crumbling courtyard, the ancient northern blade humming as he slams the hidden scroll onto the altar, unleashing a surge of forgotten thunderous technique that shatters the conspirators' shield. Mu-won feels the crushing weight of his father's legacy finally ignite within him, granting a surge of power but also exposing the raw, painful gap between his ambition and his fragile resolve. A shadowy figure materializes behind the altar, its intent unreadable, leaving Mu-won and Jin teetering on the brink of a deadly confrontation that could unmake everything they've fought to reclaim. Imperial army retreats, bandits swarm the streets, and Mun Yung's blood hangs over every decision. You hear Madame No's voice cut through the chaos, summoning bodyguard Huang. Huang bows, grateful for the lady's kindness, then asks why he's been called. She tells him her third son must go to Annam, a place he's vowed to stabilize. Huang feels the weight of duty settle on his shoulders, knowing the journey will test his loyalty and his blade. He nods, ready to escort the prince into unknown danger.
You called, Madam No? Yes, I did.
How have you been?
The road to Annam already trembles with hidden threats.
Jin Mu-won's trembling fingers pry open his father's sealed scrolls, and a rush of icy energy surges through his veins. The hidden northern heavenly techniques ignite, carving luminous sigils in the night air. Suddenly, a cloaked girl steps from the shadows, her eyes blazing with forgotten power, and whispers, "The silent night returns, only you can halt its darkness."
Huang vows to protect the young master until the northern heavenly sect shines again, his voice firm despite the chill. He wants the prince to stay healthy for the spring return, yet the looming threat of illness and betrayal gnaws at his resolve.
Mu-won snatches his father's sealed scrolls, ancient sigils flare, and a newly forged blade ignites, channeling the northern heavenly sect's forgotten power. He feels the searing surge of that power while his wounded palm bleeds, forcing him to choose between embracing the sect's rebirth or surrendering to the crippling pain that threatens his humanity. The cloaked girl's promise hangs in the air as a chilling illness looms and the ground trembles, leaving Mu-won's destiny teetering on a blade's edge, uncertain if he can survive the coming storm.
Jin Muyang lunges through the shattered ruins of the Northern Sword Sect, clutching his father's hidden scrolls as Mok Seare's blades scream past. He shatters a stone altar, releasing a surge of ancient northern heavenly energy that ignites his blade. Across the battlefield, Kong Haejin watches, his smile cracking. He's finally met a true heir. Jin Mu-won scrapes the dust-caked scrolls hidden beneath his father's shattered shrine, his fingertips igniting the forgotten northern heavenly techniques. As the moonlight slices the ruins, a cloaked girl materializes, eyes flashing with a secret promise. She holds the key to resurrecting the fallen sect. Mu-won's heart pounds, and he lunges forward, ready to forge a blade of destiny. Jin Muyang slams the ancient scroll against his palm, the ink igniting like a phoenix. As the hidden techniques surge through his veins, a silver-haired girl materializes, eyes blazing with moonlight. "Your father's legacy awakens," she whispers, and the shattered northern heavenly sect trembles, ready to rise.
As the night settles, Gong Jin-sung bows low, gratitude masking his dread. He wants the rescue of Master Yoon to succeed, but the looming ambush on the road threatens to crush their hopes. He whispers thank you, then turns to the two mercenaries, asking, "Will it just be the two of you going there?" Their silent nod seals the dangerous pair's fate.
Jin Muyang lunges, shattering the stone altar as his newly mastered secret erupts, conjuring a silver-haired girl whose moonlit eyes blaze with power. Gong Jin Sung bows, gratitude masking dread as the looming ambush threatens to crush their hope of rescuing Master Yoon, while his resolve trembles on the brink of sacrifice. A cold whisper spreads through the camp, each leader feeling an unseen betrayal tightening its grip, leaving the fate of the rescue and the Iron Brigade's loyalty hanging on a razor edge. Jin Muyang lunges through the crumbling ruins of the Northern Heavenly Sect, his blade humming with the secret Northern Blade technique his father left behind. He shatters Quan Hyenwoo's guard, then catches a glimpse of Mok Sara summoning darkness. With Li Heijin covering his flank and Park Soo-yun's healing sigils glowing, Muyang charges, vowing to end the Quan clan's treachery and revive his fallen legacy. Muyang snatches the ancient Northern Blade scroll from his father's ruined shrine, feeling the icy runes pulse beneath his fingertips. He thrusts the blade toward the looming Quan Manor, where Quan Jae-ho watches, smirking. Jin Muyang cracks the ancient stone tablet, feeling his father's icy aura surge through his veins. He lunges at Quan Hyenwoo, blade humming with the Northern Blade's secret rhythm, while Mok Sara's dark sigils flare and crumble. Bloodied but unbroken, Muyang's eyes blaze with vengeance, promising the fallen sect a storm of retribution.
Our prodigy, Broken Tooth. Is this revenge on the great family? If you want more daily recaps, hit that subscribe button now.
Jin Muyang tears through the Quan Manor's iron gate, his blade singing the resurrected Northern Blade technique, and shatters Quan Hyenwoo's armor in a flash of searing steel. Muyang feels his father's icy fury surge, granting him power but costing him the hope of peace as the manor's darkness swallows his allies, leaving betrayal and loss hanging heavy. With Mok Sara's sigils flickering and Quan Hyenwoo's bloodied grin promising a deeper conspiracy, the true war looms, and no one knows who will survive the coming storm.